Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Oh, the sun is set in Duval. Question is, will it ever come back? Because I'm convinced in this town, in this city, in these suburbs, the world is flat. What the hell is going on down at the bank? I mean, if there was ever a situation where you just needed the season to end today, that would be the case. Hell, I thought that was the case about a month ago in Tallahassee. They just can't get out of their own way right now in Jacksonville. And it's never been a solid, let's describe it as communication coming out of the Balky Peterson regime. I think at times there has been some transparency, but my goodness, they don't, see, I learned long ago, the truth teller. If you don't lie, you don't have to go back and fact check. You don't have to go back and say, I know I had a couple too many cocktails the other night. Did I say that to her? Did I say that to him? If you tell the truth, you never have to worry about making a mistake. Now, that truth may get you in a whole heck of a lot of trouble, but lying as a professional is one of the worst things that you can do. And it feels like every single story that is coming out of the Jacksonville Jaguars is hypocritical. It is a contradiction in terms. Screw all that. It's flat out lies. That's what it is. One after another, after another, after another. There was plenty of examples last year. We don't have to dive into them tonight, but you and I remember that there was example after example last year where they were not on the same page. I mean, just look at what has gone on as of late. Cam Robinson, did you have a heated conversation with him about whether or not he was going to start? Yes. Were words said? No. What happened when you asked Cam Robinson to go back in the game when he sucked his thumb on the side? Again, two different sides of the story. Why are you benching a healthy Mason Smith? Is it Doug Peterson's way of saying, Trent Baalke, you're bad at your job? Is Trent Baalke the other side of this? Colin Shad Khan and others saying, I can't believe it. You know, I go out and get a second-round guy. He's playing Tyler Lacey. He's playing Ledbetter. He's playing Jordan Jefferson. He's not playing my second-rounder in Mason Smith. I get it. The last 2 weeks, he's had an ankle. But still, that's the story. One touch in the second half in Philadelphia. Did ETN get benched? Should he have been benched? Did we get the truth on whether or not he was benched? After the game, Brian Thomas Jr. said there was no difference in the coverage that I received than in the previous 7 football games. Doug Peterson says that's not the case. They clouded their coverage. They took Brian Thomas Jr. away from the game. I asked John Allen about, Josh Hines Allen, straight up, about complimentary football and how this offense is in a coma every single week. They're not ready to play football. The defense is. And the defense is out there for 10, 11, 12 minutes to begin a game because all the offense does is go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Josh Hines Allen said to me, no comment. To me, a no comment, if you know Josh Hines Allen, speaks volumes. He's never offered up a no comment in his career here. He's very articulate. He's an intelligent guy who loves to express his feelings. He began that conversation by telling us how great of a game it was, even in a losing effort. And when push came to shove about why the offense is not doing their job, again, straight to me, no comment. Today, let's add to that. Well, rock, paper, and scissors, which is freaking hilarious. okay? It's also fireable. We'll get to that momentarily. But Rap Sheet telling us now Trevor Lawrence is not going to play. Unlikely to play. Excuse me. That was his words. Sources close to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yesterday, Doug Peterson, non-committal. Today, Press Taylor, more of a, well, wait a minute here. He's day-to-day. Mac Jones is getting first-team snaps, but you have today. You have tomorrow. You have Saturday. This came out Thursday morning from Rap Sheet, and it's a non-throwing shoulder. Others have responded. Pete Prisco, good friend of mine, comes out and says, just shut him down. Shut him down for the remainder of the year and get ready for Ben Johnson. Well, you can't shut him down. Okay, he needs rep after rep after rep. He needs in-game after in-game after in-game. He's not in the point in his career where you can just say to him, that's it, your season's over, this coaching staff has set you back, we don't want to put you out there anymore. Now, if it is determined that he does need surgery, and that is among the many things that is being discussed in town, timing is everything. This season is over. If he does need shoulder surgery, sure. I mean, put it on the books for next week, right? The sooner you get it done, the sooner you can begin your rehabilitation. But we do not know if that is, in fact, the case. There are other options that he can apparently go through now, again, with his non-throwing shoulder. So I don't agree with Prisco on that front. You just don't. This isn't a Major League Baseball starter who you call up the age of 18 or 19 and he gets shelled, right? And then you send him back down to the farm and you just say, let him take some time off. He's not ready. You've paid this guy top 5 quarterback money. That money hasn't even come into play yet. And the last thing you want is for this to end up being Trevor's a diva. Trevor's turning into an Aaron Rodgers. Trevor's turning into this. Trevor's turning into a Lord Favre. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm not. But regardless of which way you lean here, he needs to play better football. And you better be 100% convinced that if you just blow this whole thing up and you go out and you get yourself an offensive coach, that all of a sudden this thing is going to take a complete 180. We all want to believe that. But I don't know if it's true. I don't know if Trevor has the just the it, if you will. I don't know. I wish I did. It would make things so much easier around here. It's just one after the other, man. Players don't like Doug Peterson any longer. RRH, for instance, he's gone. Why did it take 3 extra weeks to get a decision on Deshaun Gibson? All of a sudden, you wake up, he's gone. He signs a day later in San Francisco on the practice squad. Eric Armstead is saying, I want to play edge. The Jaguars are saying that he said he wanted to play edge. Armstead is saying, well, the Jaguars said, we want you to play edge. They can't get any of their stories right. Bulldozer. The whole operation. The entire thing. Bulldozer. You need to start over. And that includes about everyone except for maybe 15 to 20 players. Outside of that, get rid of them all. And I hate it. I do. I hate watching grown men, grown women lose their jobs. You got to pack up your family and you got to go elsewhere. I'm not a big fan of it. But this is a totally dysfunctional franchise. They cannot walk and chew gum at the same time. They are a mistake-ridden franchise. And I just gave you 7 or 8 examples off the top of my head. Okay? It is one thing after another for this football team. This season can't end soon enough. And I'll say it again. Peterson and company, they're all gone. I still think Trent Baalke is going to lead this organization in 2025. I do. I hope I'm wrong. And I hope I'm here for all of those days and all of those weeks and all of those months where you can point to me and you can say, see, Ballou, you were wrong. I want to be here for that. Trust me. 641-1010, that is the text line. Brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. A ton coming up tonight on The Story with Trevor Lawrence. A ton coming up tonight with Billy Napier, who will stay on at Florida. As a matter of fact, Tim Brando is going to join us here in 6 minutes. Our weekly conversation with Tim Brando. We will spend much of our time on the decision today. Scott Strickland, the athletic director at the University of Florida, saying Billy Napier is absolutely the head coach for the 2025 season. Opening comments are brought to you by Shmunez Vision. Known to the Shmunez family for quite some time. They are absolutely the best in the business when it comes to your eye care. Love to describe it as needs and wants, right? A want would be, okay, how about laser eye surgery? How about 20/20 for the rest of your life? Your eyes get tired later in the day, right? That's only normal. Your eyes get worse the older that we get. Well, with 20/20, never have to worry about that again. You're talking about, again, 30 years of experience when you mention Dr. Neo Shmunez, Dr. Catherine Shmunez. Needs are problems, no matter what it could be. Cataract, for instance. It's a very scary word, right? We don't know what it is, but it's petrifying to so many. Oh, someone in the office had a cataract situation. Yeah, it's alarming. And when you hear about it and the doctor says to you, you need surgery, you do become very concerned. What's great about Shmunez Vision is they'll sit around and answer all your questions. They'll make you feel better about the process. Too many of these eye practices will say, okay, yeah, well, we want you to go speak to our surgery counselor, and he or she is going to break everything down for you. Can you imagine that? The individual who's going to perform surgery has to hurry off to see another patient, and they're not even going to express to you everything that goes in to cataract surgery? Wow. Just think about that. Never is that the case at Shmunez Vision. You'll hear from Dr. Neil. You will hear from Dr. Catherine. Just check them out online. Shmunez Vision, okay? Go there anytime. Get all the information. Also on Instagram, you can get testimonials from the good folks at Shmunez Vision. An unbelievable day in our city. My goodness. I mean, it's you almost have to laugh. It's so sad you almost have to laugh. Plenty coming up on the Jaguars. The Philly Godfather's 25 minutes away. But coming up next, our weekly conversation, Tim Brando joins Rick Ballou.
The Green Bay Packers.
This is Hall of Famer Jerry Kramer. Has a nice ring, doesn't it?
They won their fourth under Vince Lombardi.
And you are listening to 1010 XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Let's start the debate. Why would someone buy a new car from you? We have an exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on every new vehicle. We offer a competitive wow price plus free oil changes. How much will someone get for their trade? We offer more than $4,000 over KBV value. Well, we never lose a trade over price. Okay, when is the best time to buy a car? Right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter which side you pick. At Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet, you get it all. Let us show you why we're the winning vote.
Imagine beautiful new windows and doors that elevate your space and keep you comfortable year-round. At Renewal by Andersen, we specialize in custom-built, energy-efficient windows and doors that are crafted to last. Right now, for a limited time, save 20% off your entire project. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation today. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
These are interesting economic times. That's why it's so important to have someone you can count on. That's ITP Partners. Jacksonville folks taking care of our Jacksonville money. Experience? You best believe you want to give your hard-earned money to folks you trust. Jeff Hartman, Chris Bryan, Dan Abel, Reed Wingate, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reagan Wright have the expertise and knowledge to help clients in their financial lives, focusing on investment management, financial planning, and risk management. ITP Partners. Financial partners for life. Securities offered through American Portfolios Financial Services, Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hayes Carline from MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it in a year full of surprises. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, just straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back. And if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step up, use our promo code 1010XL, and that'll double your bankroll with a 100% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The NFL teams with powerhouse offensive lines are dominating the run game this year, and betting game total unders has been printing money. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays, so why wait? There's a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click on the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. If it hits, you win. If it doesn't, MyBookie refunds your money. Sign up now, get your double deposit bonus with promo code 1010XL, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
I insist on complete honesty.
You can chime in anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
If you have something to say to me, I wish you would just say it.
Share your opinion.
Are you nuts? What?
641-1010.
That's crazy.
Mia here. When it comes to roofing, whether it be shingles, metal, or most repairs, there is one name that has protected your home since 1999. Pro-Jax Roofing. Serving all of Northeast Florida, Mike and his guys have been repairing and replacing roofs for 25 years. Need insurance help? Mike's team can help. Raised in a military family, Mike provides great attention to detail with unparalleled quality and workmanship. They also have warranties, so you can have peace of mind. Call Mike today for a free estimate or online at projaxroofingfl.com.
Elbow pain, whether acute or chronic, can make it difficult to do normal activities like playing sports, doing household chores, or even sleeping comfortably. Dr. George Barr here, and no one wants to deal with pain without solutions on how to feel better. We've all heard of tennis and golfer's elbow, but there's plenty more that can cause pain, like osteoarthritis, muscle tears, and nerve entrapment. All are treatable at Barr Orthopedics. Getting you back to full health is our mission, and there's a number of different treatment options we can offer. Call us today or visit barrorthopedics.com.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. You know, pool design has come a long way, and if your pool is outdated, Stanley Pools specializes in bringing older pools up to date for the whole family to enjoy. That's why I did it a few years ago, and man, I love the way my pool looks now after we added travertine pavers and so much else. Stanley Pools has been serving our community since 1988, so call them today at 269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Need extra cash for the holidays? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn is always buying guns, musical instruments, surfboards, and tools, and pays cash money. Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach. Online at beachesjewelryandpawn.com.
Want to show your kids something really cool? Take them by the Kuhn Flowers window display on Beach Boulevard. 1010XL's RJ Saunders here, and there's no better way to introduce your kids to Kuhn Flowers. For over 75 years, Kuhn Flowers.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
Firefighters, paramedics, police officers, they take care of us, and at AMCO, we're proud to take care of them. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. As an essential business, we work on every kind of car repair with flexible financing and extra safety precautions. Essential, reliable, trusted. That's the men and women who are there for us, and it's our honor to be there for them. AA MCO.
Family owned and operated in Jacksonville, Orange Park, St. Augustine, and St. Mary's, Georgia. AMCO Transmissions and Total Car Care.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
What a weekend in college football that includes Fox Sports Saturday night, 12th ranked Boise in the first college football playoff ranking. As we do know, they will take on Nevada. That'll be at 8 o'clock on Fox on Saturday night. On the call will be our good friend Tim Brando, and he joins Rick Ballou. Timmy B, how are you?
I'm wonderful. And between, some commercials, or if you're If you're so inclined to say, oh, wait a minute, what's that other game that's on when LSU Alabama is getting a little boring? We're your answer. All right, come to the blue turf.
There you go. Yeah,
and check us out. Listen. Even in my own home, okay, my girls are like, Dad, we're going to watch you during the commercials. Hope you're okay with that. I'm like, honey, I understand, not a problem. So.
Well, maybe all those Florida State fans will watch that game.
Yeah, I will tell you, I'm really looking forward to seeing in person Ashton Genty, because I think that he right now, in my opinion, we're not supposed to say who we're voting for, and I'm not, but I'm just going to tell you, my professional opinion is he could be the leader in the clubhouse, particularly if he continues to post numbers, and running backs have that opportunity, because if they post numbers that are Barry Sanders-esque, and right now his are, and chances are against the competition he's playing, including Nevada this weekend, who's struggling with a new coach and a program that has some proud tradition itself, but is struggling. He could go for over 200 yards in every game he's got left. If he does, he will pass Barry Sanders. And, if you've not seen him run, and he's run against Oregon too, he's run against high caliber competition. This kid's the best I've ever seen at the pure running back position in college football since Barry.
Wow. That's really saying something. Born right here in Jacksonville, by the way.
5'9", about 185, 180, and just I thought the best line I've ever heard from a coach was from Dickert, the coach at Jake Dickert, the coach at Washington State, whose team has, by the way, only lost one time, and that was to Boise State. And I had Wazoo beating Texas Tech earlier in the year, and Dickert's a good coach. He said that trying to tackle Ashton Genty, particularly above his waist, is like a BB gun hitting a tank. You just bounce off. Okay? You just bounce off.
I like that one.
That's the greatest line I think I've ever heard. I think it's accurate.
Yeah, there was, 20 years ago, someone said that it was reminiscent about Jacksonville's Maurice Jones-Drew. I believe it was trying to tackle a bowling ball with knives.
Yeah, that's true. But, you think about the great runners in the history of the state of Florida, and I remember, obviously, Emmett at Escambia High School in the Pensacola area, and I called him the natural in his freshman year at Florida when they were running roughshod against Alabama. He became sort of a household name in college football. I thought, as great as Emmett was, I thought Barry was better as a back overall. Obviously didn't set the record, didn't play on the same team or last as long in the NFL as Emmett did.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that low center of gravity and the level of toughness, if you've got that to go with, I think being relatively small in stature is actually at times a huge advantage, because sometimes they can't find you. If you're running between the tackles, they can't see you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you add to that the ability to slip tackles, the ability to jump cut, and do the things that these guys are able to do makes them extra special.
It's a great point. I can think of the 2000 Orange Bowl when Quentin Griffin snuck right through that Florida State defense for the touchdown and that national title win. I mean, no one saw him run through that line. And what a workhorse, man. His last three games, 31, 33, and 31 carries. I mean, he is a bell cow.
Yeah. And the thing about him, too, is the rest of the team's not bad. I mean, the quarterback is not great. He's serviceable. All you have to do is have a clean game.
Mm-hmm.
They've got really good receivers. I mean, really good. And if defenses that are stacked to stop him, last week, by example, I was looking at the tape. He didn't have, in the entire first half, he did not have a run of over 8 yards, which is, by the way, what he averages per rush is 8 yards.
Right.
So you're trying really hard to stop one guy, which means what? Play action pass, you're going to kill people in the passing game because you've got man coverage everywhere. And I think not only is Boise State going to make the playoff, Rick, but I'll make this prediction. I think they're going to win one game in the playoff. I think I said at the beginning of the year that their only loss would be to Oregon, and I've not seen anything to change my mind. And actually, that loss to Oregon was by 3 points in a game they could have won. Okay. Now, granted, Oregon wasn't playing perhaps as well as they are now at that time in the season, but I still think Oregon's the best team in the country, pound for pound on both sides of the ball right now, the way they're playing defense. And Boise State almost beat them. For them to have to go on the road, and let's say, for instance, if they are the 12th seed.
Getting the top at large team, yeah.
I mean, you're talking about playing, name that team in the 5th position at that time. We don't know who it might be.
Ohio State, Texas, who knows? Yeah.
Could be Notre Dame if they win out. Those teams lose. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But I will tell you that I think that they could beat them. I think they could beat any of those teams.
Tim Brando, our guest. What a game coming up Saturday night on Fox. That'll be at 8 o'clock, 12th-ranked Boise State taking on Nevada. Hey, you called this a week in advance. You and I had a pretty lengthy conversation last week before Florida, Georgia, and Billy Napier, and you mentioned Scott Strickland at least twice during our conversation, and he comes out today with a letter to Gator Nation. Billy Napier is staying on as a head coach next year.
Right, and Scott's a damn good AD. I know he's not particularly a popular damn good AD with a lot of the Florida fans right now, but he is a good AD, and I think it's a very wise choice to make. Look, they're sitting in a position to go, 6-6 probably, maybe 7-5, but 6-6 at worst probably. Against that schedule, I said at the beginning of the year that would be a good record for this team. Mm-hmm. I did.
Yeah.
And I know people scoffed at that, but the truth is there have been some significant signs that the team has improved. I thought last week they had a couple of moments that reminded you of LSU's special teams against A&M against Georgia when they were on the precipice of pulling off an unthinkable upset. But look, Billy Napier has recruited well, and the quarterback is his guy. And that quarterback and all that money, all of that NIL money that they have invested in these players is tangible. Mm-hmm. And when 70% of the money you're spending is on players that Billy Napier is responsible for getting, and that was, I think, the report. It was that someone had on one of the.
I think it was Pete Thamel. Pete Thamel had it.
Was it Pete? Okay, It was Pete. Then that would just be stupid to let him go. Mm-hmm. You would be overhauling how much of the roster?
No doubt,
because a number of those guys would be leaving him, and I guarantee you, if they fired him, Rick, he would go someplace else right away. Maybe not as a head coach, but as a coordinator somewhere right away. Mm-hmm. And those players, Bogley probably included, would be they'd be leaving with him. So I think not only is it a smart move, and it's probably an economical move as well. They're going to save probably $25 to $30 million by not making a move and not making a change right now. Totally, whether it's with their players. The collectives, as well as what they'd have to pay him as a buyout if they let him go. So I think it was a wise choice.
That was the most surprising part of the article that I did read today. I mean, 70% with your freshmen and sophomores. You look at rival Florida State, I got to believe 70 to 80% are transfer portal kids or seniors on that football team.
Yeah.
So completely opposite directions. Completely opposite direction of both schools right now.
Yeah. Those are all things that the people that are in charge have to take into consideration, and I do think that the university there does believe in Scott Strickland as its leader, mm-hmm. and he's earned that over time. He deserves that. So the toxic Gator Nation. And it can be toxic. I know that. I felt the brunt of it when I said what I did at the beginning of the year. But they need to cease and desist and understand that Billy Napier he didn't suddenly get down there after doing what he did at Louisiana in southwest, south central Louisiana. And he didn't just suddenly fall off a turnip truck and forget how to coach when he got there. It takes time. It takes time today.
Yeah.
Particularly in a league as competitive as the SEC.
We have 2 minutes remaining. It's an SEC elimination game as far as the NCAA, college football tournament is concerned. Who survives, Bama or LSU?
LSU survives, in my opinion. I think this is a game that they had the week off and really were. I think the loss at A&M brought some pause and reflection. They had to look in the mirror and find out the enemy, and the enemy was them. I mean, they had control of that game and let it get away. I think Alabama has a chance to maybe run the ball better than LSU, but I think Nussmeier is the better quarterback than Jalen Milroe, and he has more weaponry in that receiving core. And I think having a happy core is huge for them. Now, LSU's minus an offensive lineman that's really, really good, but I think that they can win the game. I think being at home also helps. There'll be a lot of karma from what happened 2 years ago with that team when Brian Kelly got his first real signature win there. I like LSU in the game. Now, remember, the SEC probably would prefer that LSU wins because it won't show up in the officiating, don't get me wrong. But it would be good. It would be better for their business because Alabama is one of those teams that could still sneak in with 3 losses. I don't think LSU could.
No way. Yeah, possibly Bama. I mean, maybe Georgia, and that's what I was going to wrap up with. Brother Beano will join you in Boise, but we know he's got that Lear jet, and Brother Beano will be, at the Grove, Mississippi, in Georgia at 3:30.
Unbelievable. I like if it no longer has to worry about the questions about Florida. You don't have to worry about that anymore. The Jimmy Sextonitis won't be, they won't be hitting him with that after the game, before the game, whatever. I think Ole Miss can win this game. In fact, I'll tell you now, I pick Ole Miss to upset Georgia.
Wow.
I thought that the holes that were created and the blueprint for success that the Gators had last week, I think will really, and I think that the combination of having to play a rivalry game right before this game with Ole Miss is something that really helps the Rebels against Georgia. Georgia's been a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde team now. They have been. And I think this is the one offense, and I think it's also a defense that can do a pretty good job in defending the Georgia offense. So that's my upset special of the week, Ole Miss to beat Georgia.
Now, is this a straight-up Brando pick, Mississippi over Georgia, or is this influenced by Brother Beano?
No, it's not. Beano would be like, you're out of your mind, Brando. What are you thinking? You don't bet against the Georgia team. He'd be all over my case about it. No, now home dogs, he would be. He'd also. I'd remind him of that. When you're a dog at home, especially in the SEC, then that's another thing that I like about the matchup. Kiffin has been on the precipice of that breakthrough big-time win against one of the big boys for a while. And after what happened at LSU, a game when they really outplayed them, had control of it until the very last play of regulation. These guys can't wait to play a game against a team like Georgia and get a signature win. I think they get it here. I do.
All right, so that will be your upset special, your fly in the ointment game as well.
All of it. Yeah.
All right, Timmy B.
I had to cool my jets on ULM after the offensive line coach went berserk. I had to cool my jets on ULM.
That was one of the greatest videos I've ever seen.
Oh, it was. It was up there, wasn't it?
It was.
I do think they right the ship this week. South Alabama was going to be tough on the road. Same with Marshall. I do think ULM is going to get bowl eligible, but I need to cool my jets on picking them right now because that was a viral video, to say the least.
No doubt. Timmy, always a pleasure. Have a blast in Boise.
You got it. I'm just going to blend in with the blue, baby.
There you go. Brando's got it. Hey, always a lot of fun. Thank you. There he goes. Tim Brando, ladies and gentlemen. And, again, he's got a big one Saturday night. I know it's a great selection of ball games on Saturday night, but that one right there, 12th-ranked Boise State. I'm a Heisman Trophy voter as well, and obviously I have my eyes on Ashton Jeanty. We're really not supposed to dive much into it, but you can mention their name, right? And they will be taking on Nevada. Lane Kiffin to get a big win. You know, I mean, we talked about it all last week with James Franklin, right? Ohio State. Is that going to be the case? Do you really believe that Lane Kiffin is going to knock off Georgia? Tim Brando just called it. Coming up next, let's check the money. Let's dive into that. Let's bring in the Philly Godfather. Georgia in Mississippi is one of the games. I will ask him about, let me see. I have, just to make sure, the 4 games that the Philly Godfather is going to break down for us will include Georgia at Ole Miss, Bama, LSU, Miami at Georgia Tech, and right here in Jacksonville, despite the fact that we don't know who the quarterback is going to be, the Vikings and the Jaguars. The Philly Godfathers up next.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank N.A. member FDIC.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
Are you a member of the Ran Out of Room Club? Maybe it's a boat, RV, or cars. Maybe it's office space. A luxury storage unit at the Shed is your solution. Opening soon in Atlanta Beach. AC and plumbing available and spots filling fast. Don't join the Ran Out of Time Club. Go to theshedjacks.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On November 7, 2009, Basketball Hall of Fame coach Jerry Sloan becomes the first coach in NBA history with 1,000 wins for one team after defeating the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I'm living proof that with Rebound Rehab, you can bounce back and get back in the game. Joe C. for Rebound Rehabilitation, and they helped me recover from an ankle injury that had me down and out. Their team of physical therapists ensure you'll get the best treatment you need to recover and regain mobility. From back, shoulder, and neck pain to a nagging knee or arthritis, Rebound Rehab can help form a game plan through therapy and exercise, complete with an app so you can continue to recover at home. Check out reboundrehab.com. 8 convenient locations.
Yo, what's happening, fellas? It's your boy E to the T. Now, I'm going to keep it real. We could all benefit from a little something extra in the bedroom. Blue Chew can help. Now, I'm about to tell you how you can get some for free. Blue Chew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in a chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. No doctor visits, no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew ships right to your door in a discreet package. Not even them nosy neighbors gonna know what's going on. Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredients and strength for your prescription. And did I mention the chewable? Just like popping a Mentos. And they're made right here in the good old US of A. Now you're asking, how do I get my Blue Chew? Visit BlueChew.com and make sure to enter promo code TINTONXL at checkout. Try it for free and just pay $5 shipping. Turn that oh no into a oh yeah. That's right. Use promo code TINTONXL and let your boy hook you up with some Blue Chew. Get your confidence back. Visit BlueChew.com.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people. Hey, Hickett here for Prize Picks. Download the app today and use code JAX, J-A-X, to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's promo code JAX to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, man. Run your game.
In its final year, we encourage you to help create great futures for young people when you run or walk at Mackenzie's Run, Saturday, November 23rd. Join Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida for a 5K and 1 mile fun run through the beautiful stadium course at TPC Sawgrass. Enjoy food, live music, face painting, family fun, and more at our Runners Village. Register at mackenziesrun.org. Mackenzie's 5K and Fun Run, November 23rd. mackenziesrun.org.
Barley and Pie Brewing Company is Fleming Island's first and only craft brewery, founded by the co-founder and brewmaster of Wicked Barley. Barley and Pie serves up local brews made right in your backyard. Hungry? Dive into their sourdough Neapolitan pizza, made fresh in-house every day. Find your new go-to spot in Fleming Island at Barley and Pie Brewing Company.
This is Walker Little of your Jacksonville Jaguars for Kingfish Pest Control. I've been a Kingfish customer for a while now and can confirm that their service is incredible. Not only do they protect my family from pests, Kingfish's office staff is the friendliest around. They even email me a photo of the tech before arriving at my home. Kingfish Pest Control is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Be sure to enter their Swat That Kick sweepstakes for free pest control for 3 years. Go to kingfishpest.com and tell them Walker Little sent you.
1 second left. Hackers are ready to score. Will your business defense hold? Double-check cybersecurity stops threats 24/7. Don't wait. Visit doublecheck.com today to schedule your free security consultation. Act now and stay protected.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
According to NFL insider Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network, Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence is unlikely to play on Sunday against the Vikings with a left shoulder injury. Rappaport mentioned surgery as a possibility down the road. Lawrence was listed as limited in today's practice for a second straight day. Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson said tonight on his coach's show that Trevor is doing fine in his day-to-day. Peterson said he's improving every day, but we have to make sure Mac Jones is ready to go, if need be, against Minnesota. Jags-Vikings, Sunday at 1. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
You know, I only tell the truth, hence the truth teller. And when I met the Philly Godfather this past Saturday night for dinner at a personal restaurant that he picked out, a Greek restaurant, smack dab in the middle of Philly, we walked in through the kitchen to a table that was waiting for us. Philly Godfather, it was a pleasure, and it was an outstanding meal.
Yeah, it was a great time and even better company with you there. And the Greek desserts are unbelievable. I mean, what a great place.
Man, it was fun. It was incredible, and I certainly did enjoy my time in Philadelphia. I wish I could have brought a victory back home here for the Jaguar fans, but that was not the case. Before we get to our four plays, congratulations. You were on President Trump way, way back. Give us the odds. I mean, you got the odds at an unbelievable play, and also you're the only one that I know who said that Trump would win the popular vote. How did you come up with those?
Yeah, I mean, I had Trump plus 220. I had Trump to win the popular vote at 4-1. Trump to win the popular vote at 3-1. I went over 311.5 in the Electoral College. The reason being is we're living in a 24-hour news cycle these days. You know, you're going to watch a podcast, you're going to watch the news, you're going to watch so many different things, but in 24 hours, people forget. But what people don't forget is every week when they go to the supermarket and every week when they got to pump their gas. And that's the constant reminder of how bad the economy was and how bad the inflation was. And to me, that's all it was. That was the predictive indicator that I needed to know that people were tired of the last 4 years and that Trump was going to win this thing and he was going to win it big. I've been talking about it for the last year that he's going to win it in a landslide. People were calling me crazy, you know, Trump supporter. At the end of the day, I'm investing my cold, hard cash, and we swept the board. We won over 20 positions on the election.
Yeah, you must have felt pretty good when all of a sudden you were seeing it go from plus 220, what you had it at, to minus 600, minus 700, minus 8. I mean, it was just nuts late on Tuesday night.
Yeah, and it ended up over 100-1. And the secret weapon in the state of Pennsylvania was the Amish. They came out in droves like never before. I think it was like 180,000 Amish people voted for Trump. And that was probably the difference in the state of Pennsylvania. We knew about it, and we felt comfortable with him winning the whole thing.
Well, you were on fire last week. You had 3 out of 4, and you absolutely nailed it in your presidential pick. So you were on a roll. Let's get right after it. Our good friend Tim Brando a moment ago just picked a major upset here. He likes Mississippi at home against Georgia. How do you see this game playing out on Saturday, Philly Godfather?
I like your friend already. I mean, this line's been bouncing around from 3 down to 2.5, back to 3 all week at some shops. When I talk to my guys out in Vegas and offshore, right now, right about 65% of the early public money's on the Bulldogs. But as we all know, most of the action comes in on game day. When it comes to the total, it really hasn't moved all week. It's sitting patiently at 54.5. There's been no movement in the market there. But when it comes to betting the game, I agree with your friend. I think Ole Miss has the better quarterback with Jackson Dart. He currently has the 5th best odds to win the Heisman at 16-1 compared to Carson Beck. I think he's at like 75 or 80-1, and he struggled this season. This game is huge for both teams, but Ole Miss can't afford to have a third loss on the season here. They want to make the playoffs, while the Bulldogs can still get in if they come up a little short this week. Huge edge in Mississippi, right? Statistically, Ole Miss defense is actually ranked higher than Georgia's. The Rebels rank 62 spots better than Georgia in the turnover margin. So Georgia's been giving that ball away. Coaching edge, okay, I'll give it to Kirby over Kiffin. But honestly, you're giving me 3 points on a game that I think is a coin flip, and Mississippi might be slightly better. I'm taking Ole Miss to cover the spread and win the game outright plus 125.
Wow, plus 125. So you can do a little money line as well, the Philly Godfather.
Yeah,
all right, there you go. JJ likes Mississippi. Tim Brando likes Mississippi. Philly Godfather likes Mississippi plus a money line, plus 125. The other huge SEC game is really a college football playoff elimination contest between Alabama and LSU. How do you see this one playing out?
Yeah, this game opened up 3. It's still 3. Alabama at every sports book on the screen, except one of the sharper offshore sports books, Bet Chris. Chris is offering you the Crimson Tide at minus 2.5 below that key number. So if you like Alabama, that's a great price there. The total's paying 58 almost everywhere. Hasn't really seen any movement all week. When it comes to handicapping the game, both teams have some quality wins on the season. Bama beat Georgia and Mizzou, while LSU has, they beat Ole Miss, they beat a good team. But what scares me about backing LSU here is the fact that they're ranked 55th in turnover margin, while Alabama's ranked 12th. I hate betting on teams that fumble and turn the ball over. You've seen it so many times. If it wasn't for the turnovers, they would be in that game. LSU is at home, however. I think they got the better quarterback in Nussmeier. He's played better all season than Milroe. Defensively, Bama does have the edge. Really a tough game to bet on, but gun to my head, I like LSU here plus 3. Probably right side, like I said, as long as they don't lose the turnover battle here. I think they cover the spread. They win the game. If you look at the opposing quarterbacks Bama has faced all season, really not that impressive. That's why it's going to be the best QB they faced all year. I like LSU +3.
All right, LSU +3, likes Mississippi +3. Philly Godfather, throw out your information, please, to our listeners.
Yeah, you can follow me on X at Philly Godfather. The website's thephillygodfather.com.
Miami continues to win, and they go to Georgia Tech, which can be a difficult place to play. It's a high noon ball game, the latest on this one.
Yeah, Rick, I've been bullish on the Hurricanes all year. Before the season started, I bet them to go over 9 wins to win the ACC +400, 4-1 on your money. And I actually put some tiny cash on them to win the national championship at 50-1. And we also bet Cam Warren to win the Heisman at 15-1. So I gave that on your show, and we're sitting in a good position there. And again this week, I like Miami. I mean, this Georgia Tech team has no quality wins on the season. Losses to Syracuse, Louisville, Notre Dame, and Virginia Tech. And if you look at the teams they've beaten this year, the teams that they've beat have a combined record of 15-29. So not really impressive. Georgia Tech also has an issue holding on to the football, ranked 73rd in the nation in the turnover margin. Defensively, they're ranked 77th in the nation in opponent yards per play, and offensively, mediocre, 50th in the nation in yards per play. At the QP, at the quarterback position, who's better than Cam Ward?
Mm-hmm.
The price opened up Miami -12. It's down to 10.5. It's trending that way because they think King might play for Georgia Tech. But even if he does play, I don't think they can compete with Miami here. I'm sitting back. I'm waiting to see how low this line goes, and if it dips below 10, I'll be all over the Hurricanes at anything under -10.
All right, there you have it. That's at high noon. Here in town, the big story is Trevor Lawrence. Ian Rappaport says he's unlikely to play. The message here in town is, well, hold on. They're doing everything to get him ready. Don't know if anything will pop out until 90 minutes before playing time. So do you have any advice to maybe wait on this game, or do you pull the trigger now?
I would wait because if he doesn't play, the line's going to go up. But even where it's at now, it's 7 points. I mean, that's a ton of points in the NFL this season. We've seen teams repeatedly laying 7 points and losing the game outright. I think they've only covered the spread 30% of the time this year. And even with Trevor Lawrence, if he doesn't play, Mac Jones can still play. He's thrown 46 touchdown passes over the last 3 years on some really bad Patriots team. Now, obviously, the line opened up 3.5. It's up to 7. I'm hoping it gets to 10, Rick. If it gets to 10, that's the buy point for me on the Jags here. I know the Jags have been disappointing, for the fans, but they've actually outperformed the market with a 5-4 mark against the spread. And in 5 of the 7 losses, they've been by 5 points or less. They just had some really bad luck this year. When it comes to the total, it went from 47 down to 44. But to me, I think that's kind of low. The Jags defense ranks dead last in opponent yards per play. The Vikings offense ranks top 10 offensively in yards per play metric. If the total keeps dropping, the buy point for me is 43. So I would go over 43. And if this game goes to 10, I'll be all over the Jags in a big wager.
All right, it goes up to 10. You like Jax, the over 43. We'll see what happens there, how much it moves if Trevor doesn't play, and it is Mac Jones. That'll be interesting. Philly Godfather, once again, please leave your information out there for our listeners.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter, on X, at Philly Godfather. You can stop on my website, thephillygodfather.com. And in college basketball, I got a big future on St. John's at 50-1.
50-1 on St. John's. All right, you heard it right there from the Philly Godfather. Best of luck in all your plays.
Good luck, guys.
There he goes, Philly Godfather. Great stuff as always. What's up with Mississippi? We need to have a conversation.
Well, now I'm worried that everyone's on.
Well, I was going to say 3 brilliant individuals. Tim Brando, the Philly Godfather, and J.J. LaSelva are all saying, bet the mortgage on Mississippi.
We're all in the same text thread, so it makes sense.
Is Lane Kiffin James Franklin? Or is Lane Kiffin, is he going to win a monster football game? Kirby Smart doesn't lose unless he faces Alabama. He beats everyone else. That's what I'm looking at. But I love the fact that you 3 are picking Mississippi.
I hope I'm not being prisoner of the moment just by Beck being so bad recently in all these games, but that to me is the difference. Quarterback play and the home team. So I'm not going to bet the game, but picking the game, absolutely. I'd pick Ole Miss just based on those 2 things.
All right, the Philly Godfather 11 underdogs this weekend. loving Mississippi, loving LSU, getting points at home. Again, he wants to see what happens with the market here on Jacksonville, but if more and more money comes in on Minnesota, that number is going to continue to move up for Jacksonville and maybe play the total over the 43, which kind of makes sense since Jacksonville's allowing 28 points a game, right? Defensively, if they could just do something to score early in the game, they're going to give you 20 or so coming up midway through the second quarter into the second half. That's typically what they do give you. Yeah, the over 43 would look pretty promising as well. So those are the picks that he just made here a moment ago. All right, let's devote this second hour to you. We were jam-packed with Tim Brando as well as the Philly Godfather. It's an enormous day in Jacksonville. Billy Napier staying on as the head coach at Florida for at least one more year. Your thoughts, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. The story here on Trevor Lawrence, we don't know. We honestly do not know. There's been a report by Ian Rappaport. There's been a lot of interesting comments that have followed, including our good buddy Pete Prisco. Listening to Doug Peterson, it appears they're doing everything they can to get him ready, right? But we just don't know. Is it Trevor or is it Mac Jones? So we have a healthy conversation to get into during our second hour. The best way for you to join it is to get us on the text line. 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Pick the winners and be a winner.
Who's a winner?
Make the best picks and win a pizza party from Salvatore's Pizza at Tapestry Park.
I said, who's the winner?
Pick the worst. You'll still win some pizza. It's called the Weekly Pick'em at 1010XL.com. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Let's start the debate. Why would someone buy a new car from you? We have an exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on every new vehicle. We offer a competitive wow price plus free oil changes. How much will someone get for their trade? We offer more than $4,000 over KBV value. Well, we never lose a trade over price. Okay, when is the best time to buy a car? Right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter which side you pick. At Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet, you get it all. Let us show you why we're the winning vote.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
Football fans, huddle up. Make Best Bet St. Augustine your game day headquarters. We're serving up the ultimate viewing experience with all the big games on our massive screens, mouth-watering food specials till 2 a.m., drink deals to keep your spirits high, and we're open till 4 in the morning for post-game celebrations. Ante up for your team and score big at Best Bet St. Augustine this football season. For the play-by-play on our game day specials, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com. Best Bet St. Augustine, where every fan leaves a champion.
Total Wine and More is having a Taste of Town November 8th and 9th from noon to 6 both days. Enjoy great liquor brands, craft beer, and more. Brackish Vodka is excited to announce 6 additional flavors, and all can be sampled and purchased at the Total Wine and More Taste of Town November 8th and 9th. Come to Total Wine at the Town Center and sample great local brands. Brackish Vodka is a proud partner of the Jaguars and proud to be supporting the Taste of Town.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Greenlaw Group is for the insured. If you think you have roof damage, call 904-302-7055 today, and they will schedule you a free roof inspection. Trust their law firm to help you fight your insurance when you need it. These storms can cause damage you may not even see yet. Call Greenlaw Group 302-7055. There's no cost to retain their law firm and no cost to have your roof inspected. They only get paid if you win. Greenlaw Group, for the insured.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Our first contestant, a stay-at-home gymnast from Jacksonville, Florida. It's Gwendolyn Pierce.
Thank you, Monty. I don't know who installed my air conditioner, but it hasn't had a tune-up in over 3 years. Am I cool?
Let's ask our expert judging panel. Judges? I'm sorry, Gwendolyn. You're not cool. Johnny, tell her why.
That's right. To keep your air conditioner performing at its best, you need a skilled technician to check your pressures, voltages, and air filters in the fall and the spring. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, our club members get 2 free visits a year to make sure that you are cool.
Can you tell me if my haircut is sexy?
You're better off not asking.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Atlantic Self-Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self-Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving, they can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you today about having a grateful spirit. As we journey in life, it's so easy to take things for granted. But I want to encourage you to never get tired of thanking God for your blessings. Take time also to thank the people in your life who have and are helping you to become the person you are today. Don't go through life complaining, go through life praising.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
David Lane here again for Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. After several surgeries for age-old issues, mainly my back and shoulders, there's no doubt that Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is my sustaining resource for living pain-free. Take it from me, and I'm being really honest here, there's no better orthopedic facility here in Jacksonville.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Mississippi over Georgia. That is the talk. That is what our guests have told us consecutively. Better quarterback. Jackson Dart, better than Carson Beck. Beck's had 6 interceptions the last couple of weeks. I think you can really make the case that when you lose Ladd, right? When you lose Ladd McConkey and you lose Bowers, I mean, you lost an awful lot. And Georgia, you know, that game against Alabama really showed me a lot about the ability to come from behind and play. Certainly their domination at Texas showed me a lot. But it just feels like this team has dropped off a notch from the national championship years, from a year ago. They don't have to apologize to anyone. It's tough to maintain. It absolutely is. But we'll see. I just, you know, I don't bet. But there's no way that I would play Mississippi at 3:30 on Saturday. I can't come to that moment yet. It's almost like Penn State and Ohio State. I felt the exact same way there. You got to see it with a James Franklin team. How many times have we seen what happens when they take on a top 5 opponent? What happens when they take on Ohio State. And, if Michigan is in the top 5, you got to get over that hurdle. And Lane Kiffin has to this is a mammoth victory for Lane Kiffin. But nonetheless, it's making for some tremendous fodder. And what a weekend coming up in college football. We're going to get back to the Jaguars here in just a couple of minutes. Billy Napier's sticking around. Lane Kiffin is the go-to guy, right? I've talked about this all year. I was told by someone who's very close to Lane Kiffin before the season began that Lane would not leave Mississippi to go to Florida for a variety of reasons. That changed in season, where that same individual told me that he would absolutely listen. It didn't mean that he would take the job, but it felt like that was the primary target. A couple of other names were mentioned, but it really felt like Lane Kiffin to Florida. Billy Napier now, and I've been talking about this on a weekly basis. These kids play hard for him, okay? I mean, Miami's got a special team. They've recruited well, and they had a transfer portal season that was very similar to what Florida State had the last couple of years. The transfer portal kids they brought in, not only the 3 offensive guys, and Brown, Martinez, and Ward, but those defensive front 7 players, particularly the kid they got out of Tennessee and the kid they got out of Michigan State. Florida, to have 70% of their NIL invested in freshmen and sophomores, those are kids that Napier got. And let's face the facts right now. You have one of the top players in college football to begin the 2025 season in DJ Lagway. DJ Lagway is going to be one of the top players in college football. He may already be there right now. He's just limited because he's always getting beaten up. And I hate that he went out with an injury. We talked about the week of the game. I almost think he's going to have to change his style a little bit because he takes on too much contact. And I know this situation with the hamstring, you can blame the turf or you can say whatever it is. I still wonder about that as far as his future. I think he's going to have to rely a little bit more on passing the football than he is, pulling it down and running it. It's still going to be a big part of his game. Then again, we said that forever about Jordan Travis. Oh, yeah. That's how he ended up getting injured. We're saying that now about Cam Ward. Cam Ward is phenomenal, both with his arm and his legs. But anyway, that's the threat. And that's the question you got to ask yourself if you're a Gator fan. Can you risk losing Lagway? What if Scott Strickland knows? If I fire Billy Napier, Lagway is going somewhere else. And Lagway could be at LSU in a year, or he could be at Alabama in a year, or be at Ohio State in a year, or it could be at Oregon in a year. And with great quarterback play, and again, this team plays hard. That's the thing I love about this Florida team. And I hate to say it that way as a Florida State guy, but I'm never going to lie to you. I watch their effort. I watch a guy like Jaden Baugh and, Montrell Johnson being out and your best wide receiver being out in Eugene Wilson practically the entire year. Now he's gone for the remainder of the year. And you see these guys step up and the effort that they give. A lot of times when the season is over and your coach is getting fired, the effort wanes. It certainly has in Tallahassee. I mean, the effort at Florida State has been dismal. You can see it. The naked eye shows that to you, that they're not trying as hard. They're not playing as hard. So I know all you Florida fans don't love this. As a matter of fact, I'm sure if you were to cast a vote, most would say move on if it could provide for you Lane Kiffin. But I happen to think it's the right move for the reasons that I did give you. You like it or dislike it over at the University of Florida?
As a Miami fan, I love it. I think if I'm a Gator fan, I don't. I think he's a terrible coach. I don't think he's a good recruiter. I think he's in way over his head. I think he's had 3 years to do something with this program. He's done nothing. If anything, they've taken a step back. I think it would be crazy to bring a guy in or to keep a guy just because he's connected to a quarterback. Like, dude, the guy could get injured in spring practice and not play down the whole season. Like, that's
true.
Crazy to me.
That's true.
And you don't know that if you bring somebody like Lanham that he wouldn't want to stay. I really don't understand this at all. I think Florida has become a program that is just fine with mediocrity, and they're settling, and it's pretty crazy, to think about. This is Florida. This is the University of Florida, and they're saying, already before the season, they're saying, what a tough schedule. If we go 6-6, that's a win. Like, man, how the mighty have fallen. If that's where you guys want to be at, then yeah, bring Billy back. It's fine. And like I said, every single Miami Hurricane and Florida State fan across this state was celebrating this morning when they saw that news. So how does that make you feel, Gator fans?
Billy Napier, $26 million buyout. I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of about $40 million for the entire staff. That's affordable at Florida.
It would be the second biggest buyout of all time, though.
Behind Jimbo.
Correct.
Yeah, and that 76. But, I'm sorry for doing this, but everything I'm doing is comparing it to Florida State. But that's what you have to do when you're playing as bad. And let's face it right now, just about every Florida State fan listening, if they could, would fire Mike Norvell. Okay, here's the question. Here's the problem, though. You're married. You can't fire. I just see here that Mike Norvell just lost another recruit.
Yeah, 2026 class.
Yeah, you can't fire him because the buyout is what, $65 million. Not to mention what you have to do for the remainder of the staff, which I hope he ends up firing anyway. But there's a situation where you can't fire him. Florida, in my opinion, can fire Billy Napier. Florida's a richer program. They've had football for many more years. It's still the flagship of the state. It's not Florida State. It's not Miami. It's still Florida. Okay, you've got old Florida money, and they'll pony that up. I don't think.
I agree.
I don't think that this is a Scott Strickland decision based on buyout, even though you gave the perfect example about Lagway could tear his knee in spring ball. I believe that is a huge part of this reason. He thinks he's got one of the top 5 players in college football, a kid who's going to be a preseason Heisman Trophy candidate next year, and that may end up being the difference.
Yeah, Pete Thamel sort of reported it today he said, per ESPN sources, like we said earlier, 70% of the NIL money is for freshmen and sophomores. There's a feeling in the program that star freshman quarterback is aligned with Napier, and Napier can grow his core of young players. So, to me, that's probably why he made the decision. But like I said, I think that's insane. Okay, quick question for you. You brought up Florida State. I was thinking about this afternoon. If Florida State was 8-2 right now, do you think they would have fired Napier? To me, it's easier for them to keep him around because you guys suck so bad. They're their main rivals. It's they can look and say, hey, at least we're not that.
I think that certainly helps.
Yeah. If you guys were just as good as Miami right now and two teams were just balling out in the state and they were doing this.
Never really thought about it that way. Now, you won't find a Florida fan alive. You won't find a Florida fan dead who will admit to that.
Why?
Oh, because they refer to Florida State as their little brother. They'll never admit it, okay? But I guarantee you one thing right now, if they're pulling into their driveway, they're going to wait for my answer to that question. I don't care. The wife could have a 50-inch porterhouse steak waiting with baked potatoes and an ice-cold Miller Lite, and they're going to wait for this answer in the driveway because they're inferior when it comes to that. Florida fans are, but they have always looked at Florida State as their little brother. I think it's an interesting point.
Especially because, like we just saw in this, 70% of the NIL money is for freshmen and sophomores. So if you're Strickland, you could be thinking, hey, we're at least building something. It might take a little bit of time, but look over there at Florida State, and they're just doing the transfer thing, and they're not going to catch us anytime soon. So we can afford to be sort of middle of the road in this state because our main rival is going to be behind us.
Graham Mertz was a good quarterback, but look at what has happened with these three teams. Look how much better Miami is with Cam Ward. Look at how good Florida State was with Jordan Travis. Gets me back to the DJ Lagway, how good things. Not going to happen this year. They're not going to win at Texas.
And how quickly it could turn.
Right, but they could very easily win 2 of their last 4. They could pull off. If you're a Florida fan, you want Mississippi, and I know you don't want to root for Georgia, but in this case, you should root for Georgia to knock off Mississippi and Bama to knock off LSU. Because if that happens, Mississippi and LSU are out of the college football playoff running, and kids in college tend to go the other way. They're already looking at the transfer portal. They may miss a few days of lifting. They may not show up for a practice or say that I have a hamstring injury. I mean, we're watching the entire complexion of this game change right in front of our face. It began with holdouts and not playing in the college football bowl game. Now I think once you're out of a 12-team college football playoff, you're going to see more fake injuries and guys not showing up and wanting to play because they already know that they're going to go to another school in a year. So my point is Florida could beat LSU or Ole Miss, or at least one of those two. You know you're going to beat Florida State. You're going to win a couple of games. And
imagine if LSU and Ole Miss both lose this weekend.
They
could both be out
by
the time you play.
That's exactly my point. And I don't think you get the same. Now, if LSU beats Bama,
different story.
Then you're going to be taking on LSU with all their guns blazing. Yeah, absolutely. But I and this is crazy because here I am telling Florida fans that they should actually root for Georgia against Mississippi. I mean, again, Florida fans are like, well, are you crazy? Well, I just told you the reason why you should vote or root for them. It's painful in a way.
Okay, let's look at what's the worst. That would be what's the best thing that could happen for Florida is they win 3 out of these last 4. Obviously, I don't think they have any chance on Saturday. I don't think Lagway's playing.
No.
But worst case scenario, they lose out. Lagway's injury is worse than they don't want to rush him back. They play this Yale kid against Florida State and lose, and then what? You're still going to bring this guy back? Like, the fans will be so pissed if you lose to the worst Florida State team in my whole life. Like,
Well, that's a part of it we didn't get to, which is a little bit sideways. The timing of this has to be, I think,
for recruiting,
based on recruiting.
Yeah, because
there's no other reason to make this announcement.
Yeah, you should wait till the end of the season, right. Obviously.
For the reason that you just gave. If they were to go 0-4.
Jesus.
And, I don't care if they bring out that walk-on from Yale.
They'll probably still win.
Again last week. I mean, they're beating Florida State. I mean, that would have to be the ultimate circling of the wagons. And Florida State would have to play a game. Florida State hasn't scored more than 21 points all year.
Dude, I heard a stat
in a single game
yesterday. Miami has scored more points this season in the fourth quarter than Florida State has scored the whole year.
Yeah, here's one for you.
Shocking.
Jonte, the kid that is up for the Heisman.
Genty, yeah.
Aston Genty. He has.
I can't wait for that.
He has more points than Florida State scored all year.
One player.
It's either that or he has more yards. I know he has like 1,500 yards.
I'll believe either one.
I'll have to, but I mean, it is a rivalry game.
Yeah,
and teams play harder in rivalry games.
You'll assume they'll get up as much as they possibly could.
They didn't, but we saw what happened against Miami.
They played not to get killed.
Right. They played actually fairly well against Clemson. If they didn't have all those self-inflicted wounds, they actually played okay against Clemson.
They gave up a lot of drives, but forced field goals.
Yeah. All right, so give us your response to that. Gators are 4-4, 2-3 in the SEC. Of course, they have Texas on Saturday, and then you have LSU and Mississippi at home before going to Florida State to wrap up the year. But if they win a couple of those, they would get the extra 15 practices and a month to prepare and get ready for a bowl game. which is always very important. I mean, we never even used to bring up scenarios like this with these teams. They were always going to a bowl. They were going to a New Year's Day bowl, or they were battling for a national championship. Now it's like, yeah, can we get that extra 15 practices in? Can we
Cheez-It Bowl?
Yeah, can we get the month of December into practice? And it is important. I mean, Florida State's not going to get the month of December to practice. They're done. I mean, it's it makes a difference. That it's almost like your first month of spring ball, or before mat drills, or conditioning drills in the off season. With the way things are structured in college football, you absolutely, even if you've had a bad year, you want that month to practice. And by getting 2 wins, Florida would be able to get that in the month of December. All right, when we come back, let's get to you. Let's get to you on it. Got a ton rolling in our text line. I mean, literally hundreds tonight at 641-1010. Hey, speaking of tonight, tomorrow night, Matt Hayes' college football show will be 6 to 7. I'll be on that show with Matt. And then JJ and I are going to go 7 to 9 tomorrow night. So it's a special Friday show, 7 to 9. Next week, we'll be back to 6 to 8 the entire week. But tomorrow night, I'll be on with Matt Hayes with a Florida State report from 6 to 7. And then we'll do our show on Friday from 7 until 9.
He wore 56 and played a key role in their best season ever.
I'm your tape translator, Jeff Loggeman, on Check the Tape Tuesday on Jaguars Today.
Brought to you by Napa Auto Care. Tuesdays during football season on 1010XL.
Looking for a new vehicle? Take a look at Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville. Now's the time to save big. Choose from more than 250 new and over 1,000 used and certified pre-owned vehicles on the lot, or shop anytime at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Hyundai has one of the top warranties in the business. Lifetime, powertrain, and 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 3 years free maintenance on a new vehicle. Give them the chance to earn your business today on Atlantic Boulevard or at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com.
I'm Stacy, and I want to tell you about my fogged up window fiasco at my house. I called up Mac at Baker Glass, and he told me all I needed was a glass replacement. The process was so easy. All within a few days, they came out, measured, called me with an estimate, cut my glass, and came out to install the new ones. Now my view outside is fog-free thanks to Mac and his crew at Baker Glass. And my neighbors think I got some fancy new windows.
I'm Mac with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Get off the ladder and put on the helmet with Gutter Helmet of North Florida. We are family owned and manufactured locally. Cleaning your gutters is a dangerous and dirty job. That's why with Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. Water goes in your gutters while trash and debris go on the ground. It won't collect like filters do. Gutter Helmet protects. Call now for 10% off and a free gutter cleaning and tune-up with your purchase of Gutter Helmet. Call 904-762-7779.
There's no way to prepare for the impact an accident makes on your life. That's why we've spent 40 years getting ready for that moment when you need compassion and immediate action. The right doctors, investigators, our team of experienced attorneys, and your free consultation is already in place. So if you've been hurt, remember, the Farah Safety Net is right here to catch you. All you have to do is call Farah & Farah. It's what we built. Jacksonville.
Start your Sunday off with a cup of Joe and some sports medicine intel. This is Joe C. inviting you to join me and Dr. George Bari for Breaking Bones every Sunday morning at 7:30. And if you miss an episode, just look for Breaking Bones wherever you listen to podcasts.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. Clayton, I know you're the head diamond buyer at Underwoods, and you travel to the markets to buy diamonds. Why don't you just look at an emailed list and have them send you the diamond?
Frank, there are a couple of reasons we go straight to the source when we're selecting the diamonds we want to put the Underwood name on. First, as an expert diamond buyer, I have to see a diamond before I can really judge its beauty versus the price it's being offered at. Second, when we're at the source, we have huge selections to choose our diamonds from, so we don't have to compromise the Underwood quality standard. The result is we control what goes into our diamond stock instead of allowing a diamond dealer to send us what he wants us to have. The bottom line is we're able to offer our customers carefully selected beautiful diamonds that we're proud to have carry the Underwood name.
Underwood's, serving excellence since 1928 in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
If you're like most Americans, you have a ton of credit card debt and you're paying insane interest rates on that debt every month. Same for car loans and personal loans. Stop getting ripped off. Let Loan Pronto consolidate that debt for you at a significantly lower rate using the equity in your home. Hey, it's Prosser here, and Loan Pronto's Express Equity Line of Credit can get you up to $500,000. So you can consolidate your debt in as fast as 5 days. Their average client saves over $1,000 every month by doing this. Right now is the best time to act. With an Express Equity Line of Credit, you can access up to 90% of your home's equity, usually without an appraisal. Don't put it off. Get your financial house in order for the new year and call Loan Pronto now to see what you can save. It's a free quote and there's no credit pull, unlike the other guys. Call now, 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
Picking here with a message from Zero Res. You gotta just love this time of the year as we reflect on the things that matter most. Families, homes, the holidays, and of course football. They're very grateful for you, all the good people of Jacksonville, and they want to thank you. So get ready for the holidays. Book today, and Zero Res will clean your carpets for only $49 a room. Plus, they'll give you 25% off your tile cleaning. This one fills up fast, so book now on both carpet and tile. Zero Res, fill it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Bet live with Hard Rock Bet. Real-time wagering till the very last play. Missing the kickoff doesn't mean all bets are off.
Delay a game on the guy who hasn't bet yet.
Sometimes you just know your team is going to come back. The sportsbook for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, a lot of folks upset about the Florida situation with Billy Napier. 80-43, Billy will have to fire a ton of his staff, sign new coaches to 3-year deals. He had him come on board, lame duck coach, yada, yada, yada. This will make a dent in recruiting. They'll have to overpay in the NIL to try to flip kids at this point. Financially, it's a net loss over just firing him. But here's the point. Kids want to play with a great quarterback. They do. They want to go to a school with a great quarterback. And look at you may not have it top heavy this year. You know, some quarterbacks that we thought were going to be high first round picks. Feels like that's not going to be the case. Milroy. Milrow.
I think he might be.
Ewers. You know, I mean, we thought they might have been the top picks.
Beck.
Sanders is certainly still there.
I mean, before the season, people were like, Carson Beck, number one. Like, holy crap, that guy's not even a day 3 guy now.
Right. You look around, there could end up being 6 or 7 quarterbacks going first round, early second round. So my point is this. And then you have others who aren't projected as high, but are part of really good football programs. Dylan Gabriel in Oregon. My point is that these teams are losing quarterbacks. Ohio State's losing their quarterback, right? A lot of these big blue blood universities, they don't all have Arch Manning waiting. And if you got a guy like Lagway, it's literally free agency now in college football. And, you know, Oregon, the whole acceptance of Oregon for me is a little bit problematic. I still got to see it, although I will admit, if there does become a team that's going to win one of these for the first time, it is Oregon. It's not going to be Mississippi or Texas A&M or Virginia Tech or any of these type of schools that you hear about here and hear about there, Boise State.
Indiana.
It's going to be a traditional blue blood, with the exception maybe Oregon can slide in there. But Oregon's still in a situation where isn't that job used as a stepping stone job to get a better job, right? I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it with Taggart. We've seen it with Cristobal. We've seen it again. Is the same thing going to happen now with Dan Lanning? I don't know. But it just feels like schools out there, Washington, Oregon, whatever, the college football perception outside of USC, it's never really garnered the attention that schools in the Deep South do or in the Midwest. So that's an intriguing situation. But, yeah, I would have to look at a school like Oregon and say, absolutely, if you're DJ Lagway, that's where you go.
I was about to say, even if so let's say they get rid of Napier. I get Thamel's reporting that, like, he's connected to Napier, but it's not like Billy's going to get a job next year. So where's he get? It's not like he's going to follow him to whatever school Billy goes to. He's not going anywhere. He's not going to get a job at a high-level school even after he comes back into the fold. So I don't get it. I just don't get it. But back to the Oregon thing.
I would tend to agree with that. But what if Billy Napier's like, watch this. I'll become an offensive coordinator at said school and make make 20% of what I was making, but I'm bringing DJ Lagway with me and watch the development here, watch what happens, and then in a year or two, he's getting another opportunity. I mean, a lot of these coaches look how Lane Kiffin resurfaced.
Oh yeah, well, unfortunately, there's not a Nick Saban rehabilitation camp anymore. But yeah, I guess I didn't think about that. Like him following
Chip Kelly's
him there
doing
to be
that.
the OC.
Chip Kelly's doing that at Ohio State right now.
Correct.
Instead of going 4-8 at UCLA, he says, "Watch this. I'll run Ryan Day's offense at Ohio State. Keep my mouth shut for a year or two, and before you know it, you're going to start hearing Chip Kelly's name being mentioned again for a prominent name in college football."
Maybe. I think a lot of that is. Well, first of all, they're like really close. Like he's a father figure to Ryan Day. So I think a lot of that's personal, especially I was about to go back to the Oregon and Mario and it being a stepping stone school. I don't think Mario would have left Oregon for Miami if he wasn't an alumni playing there and everything else like that.
That's fair.
But the Chip Kelly thing is weird because they said he hated recruiting. But, yeah, I guess that's a great point about Napier maybe going and being an OC somewhere. I'd never even thought about that.
It could happen. I mean, we just don't know. But, yeah, the timing is a little bizarre. But obviously the timing – I mean, you don't make this decision if you're Scott Strickland. You don't write this letter when you have Texas in 3 days unless there's another part of the equation. The only thing I can think about would be recruiting. Because the timing makes no sense.
National Signing Day is in a few weeks. And you're not going to write that if you think you're about to win these next 4 games either. You know, like there'd be no reason to. I think he knows what's about to happen, is they're about to get pounded. The fans are going to be pissed, but at least they're going to be able to be like, hey, recruit still. You know, go to the portal. Get some of these guys. They know that you're going to be there, but it's going to be tough, man. They're like 50 in the recruiting ranking right now. It's going to be a tough next few weeks for Napier on and off the field.
Trevor Lawrence has missed one start in his career. That was in Week 17, Game 16 a year ago against Carolina. Limited today. All right, some light individual drills. The non-throwing left shoulder, a concern. Rappaport of NFL Media today said he's unlikely to play and considering quite a few options. The options are out of control. They include never playing football again. I'm kidding. They include him being out this Sunday. him facing surgery, him just having it with the front office and this coaching staff. Right now, it all comes down to, what do you believe? What do you not believe? Unfortunately, with this organization, when they are losing the way that they are, this always happens. More and more leaks. And you're starting to get a ton of leaks right now coming out of the Miller Electric Center because these coaches are panicking. All right, they're all closing the door, and they're on the phone with their agent. They're on their phone with other buddies, other coaches at other stops. They're looking for future employment. The coaches know that their career is over here in Jacksonville. Trent Baalke in the front office, we don't know if that's going to change at all. You want to believe it's going to change. You can't understand why it would not change, but I still think there is a real possibility that he returns next year. If you're Trevor Lawrence, who do you listen to? If surgery's an option, and I'm not saying it is, I'm just throwing everything out on the table here for you. Pete Prisco and I have been friends for 30-plus years. I totally disagree with Pete Prisco's shut it down. You don't shut it down. This kid needs to get better. He needs to go out there and play if he can play. If he's damaged goods, well, then sit him out. Play Mac Jones. But he could be healthy in a week. He could be healthy after the bye. You just don't send him to the farm like you do with prized 18, 19-year-old starting pitchers in Major League Baseball. You've invested in this guy. But if you're Trevor, do you listen to what Doug Peterson tells you right now? Do you listen to what Trent Baalke tells you right now? I mean, I'm listening to the team doctor, and I'm getting a second opinion and probably a third opinion. And I'm listening to my mom and my dad, and I'm listening to my wife, and I'm listening to my agent. And I'm being told what is the best thing for me as a 25-year-old. This is a non-throwing shoulder. As a fan, if you need to have it operated on, wouldn't you just as soon have it operated on next week? This season's lost. The last thing you want is, well, let's wait until the end of the year, and instead of going under the knife in mid-November, all of a sudden he's going under the knife in mid-January. That's 2 months more of rehabilitation, and you know what it's like. It's spring ball. What's the latest? We're bringing Trevor along slowly. You know, it's this, it's that. We hope he's ready by training camp, and you know how that whole rehabilitation is. I mean, look at all the free agents they brought in this year. They all dealt with it. Eric Armstead, Gabe Davis, Darnell Savage. Everyone they brought in was a freaking mash unit. They didn't bring in a healthy guy. Everyone rehabbed. Oh, it's day to day. It's week to. Do you want that to be Trevor in 20? No. The season's over. If he needs surgery, well then diagnose it. Tell us it's surgery. And have him do it, and have him do it now. Now, Doug Peterson doesn't want him to do it now. Doug Peterson believes his best chance to win is with Trevor Lawrence. Trent Baalke doesn't want him to do it now. If Trent Baalke's going to be able to keep his job, it's because he's got Lawrence playing quarterback. But if you're Trevor Lawrence, do you listen to them? Or does it go in one ear and out the other? And I don't want to present Trevor as being a diva here. I mean, all of this rumor of Trevor and Doug strained relationship, Trevor and Press strained relationship. I don't know if it's true. I've heard every rumor that you've heard. I don't know what to believe and what not to believe. Even up until the last play when he threw the interception in Philly, walking off the field and Peterson saying something to him. I don't know. And we're so sensitive about that. Can you imagine what Tom Coughlin would have said to Mark Brunell if he threw an interception during the final play of the game? Today it's like, oh my God, can you believe it? Doug Peterson said something naughty to Trevor Lawrence. It's like we're so soft now. You produce Leon. Did Leon ever tell you? You know what? I'm not going to get into it. About the thing. You know, I don't want to do this without Leon being here. But again, and we all have to face the facts that it is a different world now, right? It used to be coach dominant over player. Today, it's equal rights. And look at the scenarios we're giving you right now. It's almost like Lagway controls Napier. Lawrence controls everything, including Peterson.
I will give you one thing that Leon always used to say about a situation like this, like back in his day, just an example. This was college, a little bit different, but it was Jimmy Johnson. He would be like, if you were on the training table, like hurt, he didn't even look at you. He didn't talk to you. Like you weren't part of his team at that point in time. Like you were dead to him. And I know things have changed drastically since then, but yeah, totally different world.
And you have read Under the Tarnished Dome.
Yeah, exactly.
No one was worse than Lou Holtz.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you were invisible. You weren't even dead. Okay? You
were never alive.
When you're dead, there's a corpse, right? To Lou Holtz, you were invisible. I mean, you could be on the training table saying, hey, Lou, one of the great books, I think one of the great college football books ever written, Under the Tarn. You'll have a totally different opinion on Lou Holtz after you read that book. I'm sure he would describe it as a hatchet,
scandalous
story, but to me, it's one of the great pieces of literature on the great sport of college football that we have ever seen. 6212 said, Blue, did you have a cheesesteak? What do you think? Okay. What do you think? Of course I did.
What is it, Pat's or
Nah, I didn't have a chance to get to any of that. It was
just a regular.
Yeah, because I had that dinner with the Philly Godfather at the Greek restaurant on Saturday night. My flight got delayed a little bit on Saturday. And then Sunday I was at the yard, I was at the ballpark all day at the game, and then after the game I actually grabbed one. So that is when it actually did happen. And it was good. No doubt about it. Final thoughts coming up. Other side.
Get what you need to get you ready for the weekend.
I'm National College Football writer Matt Hayes, and I'll bring you stories about players, coaches, and programs.
It's the Bueller Aaron Plumbing College Kickoff, Friday night at 6. Brought to you by Sonny's Barbecue on 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Ballou for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinatriDC.com.
The holidays are coming, and so is your family. Is your septic system ready?
Honey, why is the yard bubbling?
Dad, the dog's swimming in the septic tank.
That's one way to greet the in-laws.
Don't let a septic disaster be the highlight of your holiday dinner. Call Duck Duck Rooter today and get it fixed before Uncle Bob finds out the hard way. Duck Duck Rooter, your local septic experts. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. DuckDuckRooter.com.
Big Sur's here. My cigars are back in stock at Island Girl Gate Parkway. Buy a box and I will autograph it for you. Island Girl Gate Parkway is the place to enjoy a great cigar selection, a full bar, enjoy a daily happy hour from noon to 7 and all day Sunday. Enjoy college and NFL games from noon to 6. When you buy 5 cigars, you get 1 free. Plus, live music Friday and Saturday nights. For upcoming events, follow Island Girl Gate Parkway on Instagram and Facebook at islandgirl.gateparkway.
Mia O'Brien.
Don't I know you from somewhere?
On Helmets and Heels, noon to 2.
I swear to you, I know her.
Then there's the 1010XL video and social media channels.
I would know her voice anywhere.
All Things Mia is driven by Arlington Toyota.
On 1010XL.
Are you ready to upgrade your home? Experience the winning combination of style and performance with Renewal by Andersen. Energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Right now, save 20% on your entire project. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires November 30th and restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
Ballou here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Julington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Mia here for MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it in a year full of surprises. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back. And if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step 1, use our promo code 1010XL. That will double your bankroll with a 100% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The NFL teams with powerhouse offensive lines are dominating the run game this year, and betting game total unders has been printing money. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays. Why wait? That's right there, a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. If it hits, you win. If it doesn't, MyBookie refunds your money. Sign up now and get your double deposit bonus with MyBookie, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. Bet anything, anytime, from anywhere with MyBookie.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
Hacker here, and let me tell you, this is the stuff I never thought I'd say. I now weigh 209 pounds thanks to Awaken 180. To put that in perspective, I'm down from a triple XL to a large. My waist has dropped 10 inches from a 48 to a 38. I honestly never thought I'd get to this point. And one of the best parts now is that I get to be so active and play every afternoon with my 5-year-old little hack. Now, none of this would have been possible without Awaken 180 weight loss. They don't just help you lose weight, they make the impossible possible. We're celebrating this Saturday at Mr. Chubby's Wings in Ponte Vedra Beach for a Florida-Texas watch party. Yes, I will be eating, and yes, I'll be drinking. Both are approved while losing weight with Awaken 180. Now, if you're ready for your own transformation, making the impossible possible, do what we all did and choose the solution for weight loss at Awaken180weightloss.com. If they did this for me, they can do it for you too.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, Jaguars injury report. Basically the same as yesterday. Trevor Lawrence, left shoulder, officially limited for a second consecutive day. Brandon Sheriff did go from a DMP to being limited today, so better news there for the Jaguars right guard. Also, Dearness Johnson has been added to the injury report this afternoon. He was limited with a hamstring. So overall, the Jaguars have 10 players on the limited side of things. They still have 3 guys that are in the 21-day window after their designation return from the IR. Good news for both Devin Duvernay and Keelan Robinson. Both practice full today, so it looks like they could be available if called up. You would think one of the two is a returner would against Minnesota. And earlier in the week, Andrew Wingard, Doug Peterson said it looked really good as far as his possibility of returning against the Vikings.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
Hacker Nation is here.
Well, what a news day.
Oh, my goodness.
In Gainesville and in Jacksonville, pretty wild. We'll see about Trevor Lawrence. It doesn't sound good for this week. So maybe Mac Jones gets his first start in his hometown, and Billy Napier back in 2025. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of conversation about that over the next 2 hours.
Yeah, are you surprised by the timing?
No, because I think Florida's going to lose their next couple of games, and I think they wanted to get out ahead of this. I actually said, what was it, on Tuesday? I think it was on Tuesday, that I was asked, I was on a radio station in Kansas City, and they asked me, all right, Billy Napier, Doug Peterson, if one stays and one goes, who stays in 2025? And I've completely changed my tone on that. I said Tuesday before this news today that I thought Billy Napier was going to be back with Florida and Doug Peterson was going to be gone. And it looks like at least half of that's come to fruition already. They're playing hard, man. And look, I know you don't get any merit badges for playing hard, but they had Tennessee beat. Billy, you could argue, did some bad things in that game, although Graham Mertz fumbled that ball at the half-yard line. That's not necessarily on Billy Napier. And then the Georgia game, how many colleges in America have their third-string quarterback in against that defense, and it's 20-20 with 5 minutes to go?
Yeah.
I mean, there is something to be said for that. There's also something to be said if the boosters have raised $30 million, and if they keep Billy Napier, they can just dump all that into NIL and the transfer portal.
Yeah, it's very interesting that 70% is freshmen and sophomores. First of all, you wonder how the rest of the locker room receives that. But secondly, I can only think about my alma mater and the amount of money that they spend on the transfer portal now 4 consecutive years. It worked the last couple, but the amount, bringing back that defensive line cost them a ton of money, a bunch of juniors, and then going out and spending money on the portal for kids that have not worked out. That's a pretty interesting selling point, though, that Florida's nucleus is young guys that Napier did bring in.
And I wonder if backdoor conversations in Oxford, again, I don't know this, but did they get the vibe that Lane Kiffin wouldn't leave? I mean, is that why you come out and you do this now? If Lane Kiffin would have left, maybe you do fire Billy, but if you got word that Lane probably wasn't leaving, is that why you do this? I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. The one good thing for Florida fans that you should note is DJ Lagway on social media, like moments after this came out, basically gave it his seal of approval. Yeah. He gave it all sorts of emojis, and I'm not up to date on how hip, to be as a 20-year-old, but based on what I've gathered, it was a positive social media post that DJ Lagway put out there about Billy Napier returning. So, we'll see. I don't think they're going to beat Texas or LSU. I'm not sure about Ole Miss, but I didn't think they'd be 20-20 with Georgia with 5 minutes to go, and they were. So they're certainly better than they were a month and a half ago.
Well, that's the whole deal. This team has played hard, and you look at losses like Tennessee and certainly Georgia and what they were able to do. It was pretty impressive. All right, what else is coming up tonight?
Yeah, we'll obviously spend a lot of time on that, a lot of time on the Trevor Lawrence situation here in Jacksonville. Cecil Shorts, former Jaguar receiver, joins me in about 20 minutes. Also, Jordan DeJani of CBSSports.com. Talking a little Jags, a little AFC South at the top of the 9 o'clock hour.
All right, have a lot of fun.
Thanks, Rick.
That's going to do it for us. Thank you to Tim Brando. Thank you to the Philly Godfather. Tomorrow night, Matt Hayes will be on 6 to 7. I'll be joining Matt for a lot of that show. But then JJ and I will do it 7 to 9 tomorrow night. So Friday night, a lot of high school football off with a bye. We'll do it tomorrow night, 7 to 9. Have a great one. Hackers up next. We'll talk with you tomorrow on a Friday right here.